What's going on, guys? Noobs here, and I'm joined yet again by Cutethulhoo.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank
and
you.
Today we are celebrating the Nintendo Switch's birthday.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy birthday!
We are 1 year from launch. We're going to play pretty fast and loose here. We don't have a lot of structure to this video. We're just going to talk about and celebrate the Nintendo Switch on this most wonderful of days. Switch Day.
Yay!
Switchmas.
Oh, Switch! I love it, Switchmas.
Yes.
I've never heard that before.
So I've prepared a few talking points here. We'll see what we have to say.
Okay.
Now, first is just thinking about this as like what a difference a year makes. Because now, first of all, if you compare this to the first year of the Wii U, oh man.
Did you get a Wii U at launch?
I did.
Okay, I got mine for Christmas that year, so
Yeah.
like not on launch day,
But pretty close.
because it was a holiday launch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got the bundle that came with Nintendo Land and Zombie U, and that's like once I was done Nintendo Land, like I'm done with these mini games as cool as they are. Like my Switch and my Wii U sat forever.
Exactly.
Like
So, like, I don't think I was even aware. I didn't really think, oh, the Wii U is a year old. Because at that point, I was probably still waiting for the long-delayed launch window games to finally come out.
yeah.
And so Nintendo seems to have finally really learned a lesson here with the Switch. Because after a year, I mean, we have just had game after game after game.
Well, I think we can think even a little further back as well, is if we look at the launch of the 3DS and then the launch of the Wii U.
Yeah.
These are both, I loved my Wii U. I love my 3DS. Even with the Switch and its portability, I still love my 3DS.
Yeah.
But these are both consoles that Nintendo launched with very poor launch titles. There was
Well, both launch titles and just having a decent supply of software lined up after
and
that.
it's the Switch compared to Nintendo's last two major console launches. The Switch hit the ground running right away. They were ready with this one. This is compared to the last two launches within the first year of the Switch. Like, it is actually worth celebrating because we have had so many games to play on this machine in the first year. So yay!
So and that's something else is like, I'm a I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and also I seem to just get nostalgic very quickly. So I'm already nostalgic for I'm already nostalgic for day one Switch. Whereas like Wii U, I'm still not sure I'm really nostalgic for it, but I just have such a good time with my Switch, where like it feels like there's always something to play. It's just a very nicely designed piece of hardware. It's something that actually looks cool. It feels good to hold it. Just everything about it gets me excited for video games.
Yeah.
I remember a year ago, I was like, I don't know if I need a Switch at launch. I could just get Breath of the Wild on my Wii U and wait. But I think what's happened is that, I was so conditioned by the way Nintendo had acted up to that point, where I genuinely didn't expect all the games they'd announced to that point actually to come out.
And they have.
And they actually have.
Which is amazing.
So my point here was just skepticism has been replaced with optimism, which is such a different place to be as a Nintendo fan.
See, and I was the opposite. Like, for me, was a Switch necessity day one? I mean, probably not, but as like a hardcore Nintendo person, I was like, I need it. Right. And also, March 3rd is 13 days before my birthday. I was so sick on Switch launch day. Like, I was like ready to die. I had a cold, and like I'm not like I have a cold and it's bad. Like I never get sick, and this was like I was ready.
But
I was like I've got to go. You got
to do it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No regrets.
No, zero regrets. Like I said, I got Zelda on launch day. I got the big collector's edition, because that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about first of all, Joy-Cons. Now,
Joy-Con. There's
Joy-Con.
No S.
The plural of Joy-Con is Joy-Con. Which I think they've done a great job introducing new colors. You can see up here, we've got ours on display. I went with the yellow Joy-Cons.
I have pink and blue. Although you will note that the set actually comes with pink and green. But
Right, you've switched that up. Switched it up.
Ah.
And you're going to be switching this again, aren't you? Going pink and pink at some point?
At some point, I'll do pink and pink. But right now, I really like the pink and blue. I like the pink and blue so much that I went out and I bought the blue wrist straps to put on my pink Joy-Con. And how often do I play ARMS? ARMS is the only one I play.
Where you actually have your separated Joy-Cons, So I think they've done a really good job just making cool, appealing Joy-Cons. The fact that they're removable and swappable is just like I mean, obviously it's not that important, but it's just a fun, cool thing. Kind of customize their look a little bit.
I like, too, that with the Switch, they haven't done sort of, which is, it's a big thing across the entire video game industry, is limited edition consoles.
Yeah.
There has been one limited edition Nintendo Switch. It was Japanese exclusive for Monster Hunter Generations Cross, but that is the only limited edition Nintendo Switch that exists, and even then it comes with standard gray Joy-Cons. The reason it's limited edition is the dock has some Monster Hunter etchings on it, and I believe the back of the actual Switch itself has an etching on it. And I'm really glad to see that Nintendo is opting, mostly it's just the Joy-Con that are quote-unquote special edition and not the full system. Because, as a 3DS owner, with how many special edition 3DSs they keep putting out, I sit there and I go, I have a 3DS XL and a new 3DS XL, so I already have two systems. I don't need another one.
You can't justify it,
But I want them, right? So I'm really glad that they're not doing that. I mean, they're doing the bundles. Like we saw a Splatoon 2 bundle and the Super Mario Odyssey bundle here in North America.
Yes, as we're saying though, it's a very modular system, right? So then I think where they haven't done enough is with the dock. Like, how come there aren't more like cool alternative looking docks?
Well, here's the thing. Nintendo themselves hasn't produced anything, with the exception of the Monster Hunter one, like I said, and that's the only one we've seen officially from Nintendo so far. A lot of the accessory stuff, we're going to call the dock an accessory. It is a necessity, but it is an accessory to the machine.
Yes.
Is actually licensed out through, I've noticed, third parties. Hori is the big one.
Right.
They've done a set of light displays that you can hook your dock up to, and then have, there's a Zelda one, there's an Odyssey one, I can't remember what the other two, I think there's
But, I just want another dock. Well, first of all, the dock needs to be cheaper, because I just want a second dock. But why not make a cool-looking dock that matches some Joy-Con colors or something, right?
Yeah, just make them in different colors?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I don't know why they're waiting on that.
I think the reason... Here's my thinking, right? I'm one person. I have this many televisions.
Yeah.
I know you are this many people, but you have this many televisions.
TVs,
He's got two TVs. So for you, having a second dock, I guess, would make sense.
Yeah.
But for the average person, I don't think having a second dock would be worth investing in.
Whereas you can always use more Joy-Cons.
You can always use more controllers, right? I mean, I'm at the point now where for my system, I have 5 controllers. Because I have 4 Joy-Con, and then I have my Pro Controller.
Right.
And I'm sure in the future, Nintendo will be like, here's some more Joy-Con. And I'll be like, I don't need 18 Joy-Con, but I've got them. And I mean, you see pictures on Instagram, there are people who have gone out and who have all of them, right?
So and every potential combination thereof.
So I think really... When we look at the Switch, I'm going to call it the aftermarket. It's not really aftermarket because it's still first party. The way Nintendo's going to keep making money besides from game sales, from people who own the machine, are from more Joy-Con colors.
Yeah, it seems to be. Well, we've talked so much about hardware. Let's talk about the games, of course. Now, who can forget? This isn't just the 1-year anniversary of the Switch.
This is the 1-year anniversary of Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, one of the greatest games of all time.
What a great move for Nintendo to do. And I think that's why the Switch, maintained its popularity in those first few months. Because Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a huge game.
Huge.
I can't look at my stats now because there's a glitch that won't let you view your game time.
That's how you know we're at the 1-year anniversary, because all of a sudden my Zelda playtime is zeroed out.
It's rolling over.
Nintendo says they're looking into it. Hopefully it's something that's easily fixed.
I want that playtime back.
Yeah, me too. It wasn't just a big, exciting new Zelda game. It was a game that just had so much conversation around it. Like, how often does a game just drive that much conversation, right? Like, it's such a crazy open game where everybody has their own experience. It just became such a talking point on its own.
It was a big game. There was a lot of conversation around it. And again, because it was so big, it helped keep the Switch at the forefront, right? Like, I mean, of course, as per Nintendo, getting a Switch and getting Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on either system, to be quite frank, Wii U or Switch, right after, if you didn't have that pre-order,
it was hard.
Was hard.
Yeah.
But because Breath of the Wild was so big, not just in terms of gameplay, but in terms of, you know, social interaction about the game, the Switch came out strong. And I think if we had seen another launch like the 3DS or the Wii U, we would not be here today being like, oh my god, the Switch.
Yeah, it's
We're
very
so happy
different,
it's here.
it's so different. Okay, but there's been obviously many other games. Nintendo's done very good to keep up a pretty steady pace. Even though, as I said, we're in a bit of a slower period, they're still releasing good games.
And even though we're in a slow period for release, there's a lot of stuff that's coming up that's gonna be big, right?
That's true, too.
Like,
well, we know Pokemon and Metroid are eventually coming.
Eventually. I know it's not Nintendo. Again, I'm gonna say this every time, but Project Octopath Traveler...
Oh, yeah.
After Splatoon 2, Project Octopath Traveler was my second in that, because that was also shown in that first Switch presentation.
Yeah.
That again, and I love the Bravely games on the 3DS. So that was my number 2. Like, I need a Switch because I need this game, like every day I am waiting waiting for the official name number 1 and for a release date. And I actually thought this game was much further along in development, but a few weeks ago they announced that they were implementing the fixes from the demo, and I was like, oh my god, like this game is I'm not seeing this game till Christmas.
I think the fact that they did that survey after the demo suggested they were taking their time with it, right?
But still, I want it. And I mean, and we're seeing continuations of series. Travis Strikes Back.
That's true. I'm very excited about that.
I've still not played No More Heroes.
I love them.
We should break out the Wii and play that so I can.
They're so like, they're kind of janky, but they're just like awesome and hilarious.
They look like the type of game. I don't know why I've never played it. They look like the type of game I would love. So I wanna play the originals before I jump into the Switch. I also love that with. I mean, this is Suda and Grasshopper, and they've got a crossover. They're working with Devolver, who produced Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2, which I love. So I'm super hyped for this game, despite not playing. What else? There's that new Yoshi game. I love Yoshi games because they're so cute. And
this one's from, is it Good Feel?
I think so.
Yeah, Yoshi looks great. I don't know if I'm sold on Kirby right now.
Yeah, Kirby. I think the one thing with the Switch is that there are a lot of games that are coming out that are like, oh, you need to have, you know, these are played best with friends. And I mean, I love it because, you know, you and I can meet up one day and just like sit and play our Switches together, link together. But, you know, I want a game that I don't have to rely on having to hang out with another person to beat. Personally,
I prefer to play games on my own. So yes, I agree that maybe there's been a bit too much multiplayer. I would prefer a little more single player in my Switch. So let's talk.
I want to talk about multiplayer.
Okay, what have you got to say about multiplayer?
I was gonna say with multiplayer, at least they're not forcing us to play them online yet.
That's one day. Well, we're going to get to that too. But like just straight up, very quickly, rapid fire, what have been your favorite retail Switch games and download Switch games?
Retail Switch game? Heck, that's a hard question.
Just name a few.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, obviously, like the two big ones. And I really liked Fire Emblem Warriors.
Okay.
But I'm a big Fire Emblem fan.
And Splatoon 2.
And Splatoon 2, obviously. Like, I mean, those are like... Yeah. Those are the big three with Fire Emblem thrown in.
Right. So for me, it's obviously Zelda, Mario Odyssey, and I actually got, I think, even more time out of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe than I did out of the original. What about downloads?
Hands down, and I have bought this game on 3 different systems, all the Nintendo systems, despite being available on other platforms. Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah,
Shovel
good
Knight.
choice.
Well, I'm really sad that they're not doing physical release for the Switch. Shovel Knight is probably my favorite indie game of the past,
since indie games became a thing.
Well, since Shovel Knight became a thing, it is consistently on the top of my list. I will play. I'm bad at it. I'm terrible at it, but I will play it over and over and over.
So for me, for downloads, I just discovered Nuclean.
Yeah, I know.
has been an addictive little puzzle
so
game.
Addictive.
Very cheap on there. It's been on sale for a while. Mm-hmm. What else? We've had the ACA Neo Geo games. I've enjoyed playing some Metal Slug. Sonic Mania was really good. And Fast RMX. Mm-hmm. I love that too.
I want to talk about download games for a second, and this is going to make me sound like a bad person, and I'm really sorry, but I like to physically own my games.
Yeah, me too.
So there's a lot of indie games that I'm not saying they don't deserve to be the price they are, because I know a lot of indie developers. I have a lot of friends who develop games. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think they deserve to be the price they are, but man, do I have a hard time paying $25 to $30 for a game that I don't physically own.
Yeah,
like,
that's
there's just
tough, isn't it?
There's just something about it that irks me. Like maybe it's just because that's how I like to spend money and physically hold things. It's the same reason why.
Well, and I'm a game collector. You know, I do like the physical games as well. I'm starting to accept the digital games a little more, but. Yeah, I would prefer some of these more so than others, I think. Shovel Knight would have been a perfect one to get the full physical copy. Mm-hmm. So we talked a bit about what games are coming out, but let me just go through what we know. Okay. Kirby's right away. Yoshi's later this year. We've got Tropical Freeze coming. Yeah. We've got Mario Tennis Aces.
Oh, yeah.
Labo coming out on 420. And then,
The World Ends With You.
Oh, and The World Ends With You port as well.
So excited
How
for
could I
that
forget?
one.
And then, like we said, we don't know if these are this year, but Pokemon and Metroid are eventually coming as well. So, as we've said, it is a bit of a quieter kind of first half. I expect to be blown away at E3. Nintendo, don't let me down.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to say E3 is... I think I mentioned this in our predictions video as well, talking a little about E3. E3 is gonna be when we're gonna get our holiday release dates. Obviously, again, now that I'm just going back to Square Enix, because The World Ends With You and Project Octopath Traveler, I'm super hyped for. We're gonna see The World Ends With You in the E3 timeframe. E3 is when we're gonna get our Octopath Traveler release date.
These are your predictions.
This is my prediction. This is what I'm hoping.
Okay.
We're getting Kirby right away.
Yeah.
I think Yoshi.
It's more like a summer game.
I know. I'm going to say it right now. Yoshi's going to be a holiday title.
Oh,
Yoshi's going to come out. Yoshi's going to come out in the same time frame that Odyssey came out. So that end of October, beginning of November, kind of first holiday title.
I think, though, we're going to get some big blowout November game. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be Smash Brothers or something else. But
Sakurai, please.
Sakurai. Because here's one thing that's been very blatantly missing. Is where's the paid online? Where's the actually decent online services, especially cloud saves? Are you listening, Nintendo? I desperately hope... if that's the only feature of the paid online, I'm going to pay it, because I need to back up my saves. But so anyways, I hope that they've planned like a big online game, aka Smash Brothers, for release with that.
And I think that's the thing with the Switch too, is I remember, thinking back to that first big Switch presentation, they were kind of presenting it as that Splatoon 2 is going to be our introduction into Nintendo esports.
Right.
Right now, Nintendo has not done anything to convince me, even with Splatoon 2, that they actually want to break into the esports kind of boom that's happening right now. Now, I'm just going to say I'm not big into esports. I have dabbled in maybe potentially playing Tekken kind of competitively because I really like Tekken. I have a weird kind of I can't think of the word for it. I'm a natural at Tekken. I don't, not to humble brag, but I'm pretty damn good at Tekken. But that's the thing is we've not seen anything like ARMS has a competitive scene. Yeah. But it's not the same as the Smash competitive scene that already exists across previous consoles. Right. It's not Tekken. Right. It's not League of Legends. Right. It's not StarCraft. It's not what anybody's actually playing competitively.
Well, the Nintendo game for this is Smash Bros.
100%. Yeah. But they present again, going back to that first Switch presentation, they presented Splatoon 2 as we want to do esports with Splatoon 2, which I'm on board for. I like Splatoon 2. I would get a team together. I'd be like, let's do it. We're going to practice 16 hours a day, right?
But Nintendo's not really supporting that.
No.
Is the thing.
And no, they've not brought out that paid online. They've not made it easy to connect. Again, they've not made it easy to connect and play with my friends.
Right.
They've not...
Voice chat.
They've not done anything beyond hey, we want to make Splatoon 2 esports.
Yeah,
Right?
Speaking of their online, out of nowhere we got, I think it was the Hulu app.
Yeah.
Still no Netflix, still no browser, still no YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know what the holdup on this stuff is.
It's actually really funny. There's not a browser, but if you're in a public place, say a shopping mall, with free Wi-Fi that you're connecting to, the Switch will launch a browser so that you can accept. But there's no other way to access this browser.
Right, there's a hidden browser in there.
But at the same time, I'm okay with my Switch not having these things. I have a laptop, a computer, a PS4. I can do Netflix. I have my phone.
A Switch, watching YouTube or Netflix in bed, it's a nice thing to have. It seems super easy to get. Everything runs Netflix. So, I just don't understand why it's not there. It's just weird to me.
I think it's because, I want to say it's because the company wants to focus on gaming and gaming alone. But again, they put Hulu on there, so who knows?
I don't get it. Well, that is all the talking points I had. Do you have anything to say, kind of in summary, thinking back on this year of Switch?
I've had a good year.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it. I think, did we do a top 5 for your channel, or was that just for my podcast? Was that just for Galaxy?
Was for your podcast.
Yeah. We did a top 5, like I said, with Super Mario Odyssey. That was the most fun I had a game in forever. Like I said, I have other systems I could play. I have barely touched my PlayStation or my 3DS in the time the Switch has come out. There have been titles that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play this on. I'm going to play it because it's PlayStation exclusive.
Right.
But I am spending more time with my Switch.
Well, you just want those games on Switch. It's just nice to play on Switch. The portability.
That is my next point, is games I want on the Switch. There are so many potential games that I think would be so amazing. One genre that comes to mind, visual novels. Visual novels are not for everybody. I love them. I think I'm reading a book, but sometimes it's got voice acting and it's got characters. Some of my favorite series are visual novels.
Let's get that Doki Doki Literature Club.
DLC.
Not Doki Doki Panic. Although that may be coming up if we ever get that virtual console. That's my other thing. Where's virtual console?
I think the PlayStation Vita missed the mark when it came out. It got tons of support in Japan. There are tons of visual novels for it. I want to see companies, NIS America and Atlas are two of the big companies who bring those visual novels over to North America. Yeah. I want to see them work closer with Nintendo to port them to the Switch. Because, there's the Virtue's Last Reward series, 999, Zero Time Dilemma. Right. I can't remember what the third one is. Virtue's Last Reward, I actually think, is the third one. Those would all be great on this system. Mm-hmm. All the
Phoenix Wright games.
All the Phoenix Wright games, but there is one in development for Switch. I have heard that. Thanks. Awesome. Thank you, Capcom. The Switch is a better venue for these visual novels because I don't like to sit on my couch at my TV playing a visual novel. Mm-hmm. And I really don't like when they're on the PC because there are some games that I love that are PC only, and I hate sitting at my computer. Yeah. I'm not a PC gamer. I hate sitting at the computer and playing a game. Sitting at the computer and reading a visual novel is the absolute worst. So I think the Switch has huge... it's portable. It has huge visual novel. So that's my number one, is I want to start seeing,
Well, and also, other than Nuclean, we've seen so little use of the touchscreen. And those games are so perfect
Maybe we're just playing the wrong games.
It seems like there's just very few games that really take advantage of the touchscreen.
Yeah, there's, Nintendo has come out. Their first-party stuff has been really solid for the Switch. There's not been a first-party game on the Switch that I have not enjoyed thus far. ARMS took me a while to warm up to, but now I love it. Indie and third-party devs are really shining on the Switch.
Indie games certainly are. Yeah. I think third parties are kind of taking their time to warm up.
But I think with Bethesda being as successful as they have been with Skyrim and
Doom seems to have been a legit big hit for them.
So we will see. I'm hoping that as we as we're entering year 2 and 3, 4, 5, I want to see more of these third parties and more of these indie devs because I know I said that I have a hard time paying for indie games because I like to physically own my games, but the indie devs are rocking it. Yes. There is so much creativity and excellent ideas, and I know I have 3 or 4 friends who are indie developers. One of them actually just announced that their game is coming to Switch. Shout out to Pixel Noir. Is coming to Switch in 2018. So, like, it's super cool because Nintendo is really inviting these developers to put their games on the system.
Well, I think what's happened is that, third parties left this gap. This hardware took off, and they weren't ready to sell their games.
Which is the opposite of what we've seen for previous Nintendo systems.
Right.
The Wii U was shovelware game after shovelware game.
And that was about all the support it got.
Yeah.
So indies have really filled that void and done spectacularly, and I think really been rewarded for it. But I hope this is the year that the third parties really catch up and join us all on the Switch.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, fix your online. Get that paid online going. Get Virtual Console rocking.
Get us Smash.
Get us Smash Brothers.
Get us some more third-party support.
Third-party support. Fix the Zelda... not the Zelda glitch.
Fix the Zelda glitch. The time glitch.
The time glitch. And...
I think that's it.
Give me Netflix.
Oh, give them Netflix.
But, okay, I mean, so it's a long list, but it's like, none of this makes me feel bad.
No.
None of this makes me, when I pick up my Switch, I'm like, ugh. Like, in the past, you might pick up Nintendo you kind of like resign to playing Nintendo hardware, but it's like, well, I can't not play these games. But this time, the hardware's so great, you want to play on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think great first year.
Yeah.
I'm excited, I'm excited to see where it goes. I cannot wait for, my top 3 or 4 games that I've already mentioned to finally release. And I don't feel like, again, with these indie games coming out, I don't feel like that I'm going to leave my Switch in the dock for 6 months because I have nothing to play.
Right.
There's always something to play on this machine.
My Switch never gets dusty.
Yeah, and that's the thing is there's always something to play, and generally, even if you're picking it up out of the eShop, it's good.
That's true.
There's not been anything I've played on my Switch has not been bad. So, yay!
Yay! All right. Happy first birthday to the Nintendo Switch. And I look forward to your second birthday.
Yay!
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 Well, thank you, Cutethulhoo, for joining me.
Always.
Do you have something you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I already mentioned it. Don't forget to check out Galaxy. It's my podcast. Yeah. New episodes every Monday. And if you particularly like me, I did just launch a Patreon for it as well. If you want exclusive content exclusively from me, sometimes Noobs is there too.
Yeah, so I'll put the link to the podcast in the description. So let us know, guys, what are your favorite Switch memories so far? I don't know, what else? What Joy-Con colors do you like to play with? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.